Alrighty, welcome back. This is part 3 of the PoE 2 boss race, Act 1 to 3 explained. So parts 1 and 2 will be linked in the description or the pinned comment. And in this video, we are heading on to Act 3. Now, the majority of Act 3 is really just leap slamming and shield charging through everything. We're just trying to get to the boss. We have all the gear we need. We are running. This area, it is a pretty straightforward layout, literally. We're going to be running straight from the exit, from the entrance, and looking for the Azak Campfire. There's also this hanging tree, which you can stumble upon that has a magic ring. Sometimes you get an amethyst ring, but the thinking here is just go straight. And then I'll explain once we get to the Ziggurat encampment. So I'm just thinking, go straight, go straight, go straight. And it should be right over here. Yeah. So from the Ziggurat encampment entrance to the left or the right, we're going to find the Azak Campfire. So once you start seeing these huts, right? These huts with the leafy tops, you know you're going in the right direction. And at the Azak Campfire, there's going to be 2 rare mobs that spawn that are protecting a chest. And behind them, in that chest, is a lesser jeweler's orb, guaranteed. So this is very important. Get your guaranteed lesser jeweler's orb from there. And we're going to be using that on our main skill, of course. Then use the checkpoint to go from there back to town and into the Ziggurat encampment. Now from here, again, we pretty much have everything we need. So I don't even know why I'm selling stuff. Just out, cat. And this area, so very, very big area, but it is kind of just like a square with the exit on the other side. So we're looking on one of these spots for the exit. But in this case, I think I also want to do the monkey because there's a couple of points that he gives us that are really, really impactful. Because if I had instead gone for level 30, I probably would have skipped this, but I decided I needed it. So we go for the Mighty Silver Fist. Get that book of specialization. He seemingly spawns, he tends to spawn in this sort of, hello cat. He tends to spawn in this sort of top quadrant, but he can also spawn in the middle. But we just did that for the extra 2 points. Hello kitty. And then we're heading on to the Infested Barrens. For the speedrun, we don't need to go into the Venom Crypts. So we're just ignoring that. And now for Infested Barrens, all points of interest are pretty much going to be on the outside edge. So I'm just running the outer edge, and you'll see we're going to find the Chimeral Wetlands, Matlan Waterways, Azak Bog, and very important. So this over here, it's pretty hard to see, but I know that this is the Azak Bog because let me just go back a tiny bit. There we go. So I see this bridge, right? That is a long wooden bridge that will lead us to Azak Bog every time. So you see that. All right. We don't need to do Azak Bog for the speedrun, so I'm just going to continue on my way. Leap salmon, ignoring a ton of everything. We need to grab, in this area, we're grabbing all checkpoints because we're going to have to come back here later. So checkpoint, waypoint, very important. Later on, after we do Jinquani's Sanctum, we're going to have to come back here with the large soul core to open up the way to the Matlan Waterways. So grabbing that waypoint, grabbing that checkpoint, and now we're looking for the way to Chimeral Wetlands. If I had found Chimeral Wetlands first, I would have taken that checkpoint and then kept going to find the other areas, but I found everything. So we're just going to head on through to the Chimeral Wetlands. This area is, again, I'm just running the outside edge, hugging this left wall. We're looking for Zyclusian's Arena, which tends to spawn facing this way. I think it always spawns facing this way. And Temple of Chaos is at the top. So just hugging the outside edge, looking for that opening. We don't need to do anything else in here other than fight Zyclusian and get our way into Jinquani's Machinarium. So there we go. We find him, and I'll let this play out. Here we go. I think I borked this fight a bit. Or we just missed it. Oh, yeah. He flew away just after I dropped my bells. And then, so if something like that happens, you can just respawn a checkpoint and do it again. And hope that he doesn't troll you, I guess. And there we go. Just trying to nuke the guy down. I think we get him super close. If you have a better weapon, you can normally just insta-phase him. If you have a very bad weapon, this fight can be horrendous. So that's why we spent a bit of extra time making sure we got to level 28, kill the dude, get the Exalted Orb, and again, my weapon's fine. So these gloves, I think, are really, really good. I decided, in fact, to slam these. Now, in this area, I'm going to turn up the sound for this area because this is quite important. So in this area, what we're looking for, there's 2 sections, and we need to open up this first door that opens up into the biggest second area. And this first area, it's going to have a segment on the left and the right. And in there, we'll spawn a small soul core. So there's actually a sound that plays when you are near a quest item. I don't know if that is from my loot filter or if it's just the game. If it's from the loot filter, maybe just check, but I'm pretty sure it's from the game. So here I'm actually just running. Where are you? Oh, so you're going to the Bahamas, right? And did we hear it? I think I was yapping over it. Hopefully we hear it in this next area. So we open up here. Luckily it was on the left. If it wasn't on the left, it would have been on the right. But all right, I'm going to let it play with the sound so you can hear it. I am not hearing it. I'm not hearing it, but you'll know the sound. It's like a little tinkly sound. In this area, the way out is going to be pretty much in a directly straight line. So I'm thinking, get a soul core and then just head out. So get through this area nice and quickly. And now Jinquani Sanctum. This area, there's a very cool trick that I will show you. So it is effectively, it's 2 halves that are mirrored, and we are looking for generators. And we're looking for medium soul cores to power those generators. So let's see if we hear it. Drop in, go strength. Then put on our fire res ring. And then we should be really good for the waterways. Oh, wow. Did you hear that? It's like a very subtle ding. But I heard that little tinkle. But anyway, so we get that first medium soul core. And now we're going to go to the power the generator. And then we're going to run to the other one, run to the other generator, hoping to find another soul core along the way. But if we don't, there I got really lucky. So the thing I was going to tell you, if you don't find a medium soul core along the way, what you can do is you hit this checkpoint by the generator, and then you just repeatedly respawn a checkpoint. And then there's a chance that the medium soul core spawns close to the generator. You'll actually see it as the green exclamation mark on your minimap. You might hear it as well. So you just do that over and over. That way you don't have to explore this whole area. Just another note, if you find this and then you run out like down here and you find a medium soul core, if you respawn a checkpoint, you will lose the soul core. So you have to manually run back with it. But just remember that you can, from the checkpoint, respawn a checkpoint repeatedly until you get that other soul core. And here, you can actually TP back to town and then take the waypoint, but you actually have to wait for this. There's like an animation that plays of the, what's this guy called? Zikoatl or something being summoned. So just run back, and then we're going to take this dude down. Pretty easy fight. Kind of wish this guy was a little bit more tough, but I guess I'm using like quad bell stuff that's going to be patched out. So from here, grabbing that large soul core, and we're going to go from here to Matlan Waterways. Now, Matlan Waterways is maybe one of the more rippy areas in the speedrun. A lot of people complain about this area. So what I found really helps is having a lot of people rely on a decent amount of armor and a decent amount of fire resistance. Is very helpful. But the biggest tip I have for this area is just take your time with it, especially if you're playing monk. Just take your time. There's going to be all these, we have to pull all these levers to open up the various parts. But there's these guys that do a lot of fire damage, and then there's other guys who slam you. So just take your time in this area if you're speedrunning. Try get a decent amount of fire res. Try get, if you can, either a decent amount of evasion rating or armor. Preferably armor, because the slams, I think they go through your evasion rating. But here, at least on Monk, what I'm thinking is, before I go up onto one of these platforms with the scary guys, these, I'm trying to make sure I always have a charge on my bell. So when I get to the top, I can just drop the bell like that, right? So it might be different on different classes. It probably will be different on different classes. But if you do have a way that you can like pre-buff before you go up onto the platforms where there's these scary guys, then make sure you do it. Just take your time. This area, again, if you're learning to speedrun, might be a frustrating point, but you will, I promise you, just practice, you'll get through it. So again, just making sure I have enough bells before I'm going up. You get that. Here are my gloves. Flat lightning damage, dexterity, fire res, super good. I think I realize it has an open suffix, so we could slam on a res, but I think I would rather like slam the chest, maybe get life. This is just game knowledge stuff, understanding itemization, knowing that this currently has 2 suffixes and 1 prefix. So if I exalt it, I have a 66% chance of hitting a prefix, and there's a lot of good prefixes. There's life, there's evasion rating. So probably going for the slam on this is a good idea. Also, if I miss and hit a suffix, I could hit a resistance, which is also great. So I think I slam this and hit reduce ignite duration. Wonderful. Very, very useful. And again, now you see this is the situation where I'm entering a platform without bell charges, and I think it's a little bit spooky. So this area, there's not a whole lot to say about it. It's really just fairly linear. You're not able to progress without pulling the levers. It's just more about how you play through it at such a low level without repeatedly dying. So take your time. Take your sweet time. Get your fire res, armor, evasion rating. Pull those levers and get to the other side in one piece. So I'm just going to speed through this because it's the same thing over and over and over. Very, very long area. And I think if I was level 30, I might have got like a little bit better experience. But because I'm level 28, I'm 11 levels under the area. So I'm getting practically no experience. So we pull that lever, head back to town. And now we're going to run down to Alva, and we're going to enter the Drowned City. Now, Drowned City, and actually pretty much all the following areas are going to be very set layouts. Very readable set layouts. So for Drowned City, what I'm doing is I'm coming down to this checkpoint, and then I'm hitting this far wall. You can see it doesn't keep going, and then I'm going down and hugging this wall. And then I'm looking for an opening that leads me through here. And I know it's probably going to be just here and then to that way. There we go. And now there's a checkpoint. And there's a little ambush. This is an area I really recommend just running a few times. It's possible that in future leagues they will shuffle this so it's a bit different. But currently, as it stands, it's a very set layout that's easy to learn. And good news, if you spend the time learning this, you'll actually learn another area as well while you're doing it. I'll explain that when we get there. Now, Apex of Filth, another one. I just want to explain the layout for this area. It effectively runs like a spiral. So I coincidentally got this exact layout. You might spawn in this direction and the spiral might be a different direction, but the first thing I'm doing here is just establishing the opening of the area. So I know, okay, it's going this way. So that means the spiral will go like this. And there's this long pathway. And then I know, okay, I go down across there. This is an area, again, that it's probably worth just running a couple of times with this in mind, and you will understand it. But just leap slamming through. And following that little spiral thought pattern. There's a little bit of like a crossover with the layout guide, but I think the layout guide will be a little bit more focused on the layouts and less about, you know, when to look at vendors and all of that. So here's this boss. And we are just, I think, oh yeah, I was sending in her temp chains thing, which really annoyed me. This boss can be very deadly. Might be one worth practicing. If you're going to be doing speedrunning, it's certainly worth your time to practice a few of these bosses, especially this one, Viper and Doryani can be, they could be run killers if you're not prepared for them, but practicing them, very, very good idea. So this one, let's take her down. I respawned a checkpoint when I realized, okay, wait, I think I'm going to die. So just having that awareness of, all right, I'm not going to risk it because if I die, there's a 1 minute penalty. And then, all right, got the bells on her. Take her down. My damage could be better. It's actually pretty decent. Could be better. So we're going to kill her. And now from here, we're going back to town. Something else we could have done is, I think, let me show you. So we could have actually from there taken the checkpoint to the waypoint at the start of the area, and then taking that waypoint to Drowned City, gone through the Drowned City, back to Ziggurat encampment, and then we would have popped out just by Alva. But there's a whole lot of load screens there. So if you are maybe not like in a region with super speedy internet, like I know the US has way faster load screens, or if your computer's not fast, you don't do that. Just TP to town, run down the stairs and pop through. But if you are on a speedy computer, you can take the waypoint to Drowned City, pop out here. And now we're heading into Temple of Kopec. Having a decent amount of fire res, really good idea over here, but this layout is pretty easy to read. So it's a triangle with one of the exits in one of the corners. So I'm checking the corners here. That's the thought process. Just leap salmon. I didn't find it in that corner, so respawn at checkpoint, check the other side. I don't think we get it. And then, we did get it. Now in this next area, again, just checking the corners, and let me tell you, I know at this point that the exit is over here, and that's because there's this big rift. So if you find a big rift that cuts two halves or two sections of the triangle, the exit's going to be on the other side. And for this boss, actually a surprisingly, at least on Monk, not too hard a boss. Just don't get up. Did I die? Okay. I've never died on that boss. Embarrassing. I probably said that during the race as well. But, this guy's easy, and then he instantly kills me. Another thing I've been doing that I haven't mentioned is during long sections of leap slamming, I'm actually using my martial tempo that I have linked with my ice strike, putting it in my leap slam so that I leap slam faster. If you do that, just make sure that you are putting back your martial tempo in your main skill. Otherwise, I've made this mistake where I did like the whole Dreadnought section without martial tempo and wondered why I was doing no damage. So if you're going to do gem swap stuff, just keep it in your mind like, okay, I need to, when I'm doing this, when I'm leap slamming, put the martial tempo in my leap slam. When I'm attacking, put it in my main skill. All right, we're going to play through this. Ketzuli. I remember struggling with the bells. Some of these bell things, man. The placement is sometimes so janky. And now, I'm going to turn up the sound. So I'm dropping a portal immediately after killing him. Speak to Alva. And then speak to her, investigate platform. So she's got a long yap sesh. I learned this from Angormis, but the moment she says, wait, we can actually go through the ziggurat. We don't have to sit here for the whole animation of the platform going up. So you see, she says, wait, no. When she says that, go through the ziggurat thing. And now from here, we are going to Utzaal. Now, remember how I told you it is worth learning the Drowned City? That is because the Drowned City and this next area, Utzaal, are the same place. This is just in the past. So it has the same layout. We're doing that same thing of just going down, across, down, across, down, across. So the floor tiles in this area can be a little bit, it's not quite a clue, but I'm thinking hit that wall and then go down and then go down. And then we're looking for a way up. This is a thing it's kind of a bit of a feel thing. You'll run this area enough and learn it, but I know like off here, this is Viper, just up here. There's a way up with these nice smooth tiles. It's a bit hard to see because the encoding is just like horrendous, but keep going this way. Find this little bridge. Other side is Viper, and then misclick and send the VOD back to the beginning. All right, so for Viper, this fight, this is one worth practicing. Seriously, get like a crappy weapon and fight it 50 times. Okay, not 50, but like 20 times, just to learn her attacks. Another thing that you can do is just fight her and see how long you can stay alive without attacking her, just to learn the patterns of her attacks. But this is a hard part of the run. So there, whenever I'm feeling like, okay, I'm not getting it right, just respawn a checkpoint. Again, my flask didn't refill because I respawned a checkpoint, and that I come to regret. You'll see. Don't have enough charges, so we get it fairly low. Oh man, this was so painful. I remember this. I was fighting her, but she was standing in her ground degen, and I hit the wrong button again. Standing in her ground degen, and I died. So we do that again. This fight, man, like if it gets to that second phase, I just hate it. I feel like this fight was designed for youths with fast reaction speeds. So I'm kind of, if I feel like I'm not having a good start against it, just respawn a checkpoint. Over and over and over. There, I realized, okay, my flasks are empty, so I have to go take the checkpoint back to the waypoint, and then come back here and do the fight again with full flask charges. So that way, it saves you from going all the way back to town. And here, I think we get her down at last. Man, it's so close. This fight is... Come on, come on. Yes, we got her. Now she drops us a uncut skill gem level 2. I think I got it just in time. Yes. And we're going to use that to get primal armament. And again, like I said, this area is laid out the same as Drowned City, so we're turning right, and then we're going up this way to Aggorat. Up to Aggorat, and Aggorat, again, very set layout. So this area, again, just leaf slamming through. I think hopefully I think I swapped my martial tempo there with my ice strike, so I can leap slam a bit faster. But this area, what we're looking for is just this main platform over here. This is where all the Val are worshipping at Ziri. And then just beyond that, there is a checkpoint. And then it kind of goes like this. Sometimes, I think in some layouts, it opens up this way, and then you go in like that. But after this, there's going to be that checkpoint. One way is going to be a dead end, and then it's something, just run it a couple of times, you'll learn it. Okay, Black Chambers. This, again, very, very set layout. The boss is going to be spawning on the opposite end of the area, Doryani. So we're just trying to get to that other side. There's kind of three, you can break it down into like 3 major platforms separated by bridges. There I just crossed the first bridge, you can see. I'm looking for another bridge. It has a checkpoint just preceding it. And here we're just leap slamming. For this, we are hoping to get a decent amount of lightning res and fire res, not only for Doryani himself, but also for all these mobs along the way. So if you're very short on resistances, you're going to feel it here. So that's why checking for resistances earlier, and there did I respawn a checkpoint? No. All right, and here's Doryani. So for Doryani, again, this is a fight that I really recommend you practice. It is, even with decent weapons, learning his attacks and everything it's worthwhile. So okay, so at least on Monk, I'm trying to get my bell drops on him at the right time, and he has a tendency to kind of jump backwards, which is annoying. So I'm waiting for him to do... He's got a big lightning attack, and he's got a few slam attacks. There, he just moves out the way, but I try and force him back into it. So here, he's standing still. I have a decent amount of fire res here, so I know that I can tank some of his attacks, but there's other ones like that I know I can tank. If you're very low on fire res, you have to play this way more cautiously. Now, final phase. I'm actually going to slow it down for the final phase, but just he does this big slam just after he spawns, so don't get hit by that. And here, I think he does a slam. Ah, right. I remember thinking, man, I thought I was on the outside of that. There's another slam he does, but yeah, just it's a fight worth practicing. I think the first time I did this fight, I died to him like 4 or 5 or 6 times on the first boss race. Practiced it a bit, and then I think I only died once against him the second time. And there was that big slam that I thought I was on the outside of, but not quite. So you learn that move there. I should have been like, I thought it was just in front of him, but the AoE is bigger than I expected. So it's the kind of thing you want to just practice. Now we have the weight of shame, and we go back in for that final time. I'll slow it down a bit. He's got a couple of attacks where he just stands still, and then you think, okay, cool. This is my opening. Freeze, obviously very strong against bosses. Did I have my martial tempo? Oh my goodness. I think I forgot either. Okay. I don't know if I re-equipped my martial tempo, or it was just that I've been playing at like 8x speed a lot of this run. So that attack, that is super deadly when he does that. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I have my martial tempo in. Here. Now, he does these things with these rods. You can run over them. It does make them do some zappy stuff, but it is a temporary effect. So if you trigger them before this final phase, then you don't have to deal with them in the final phase. So I've run over them, triggered them, and now going for this. Don't get that slam. He does his little fire attack. And now there's one attack that he does that I will explain, where he goes up in the air. This one is also scary. The butt laser, just roll through it. Once it comes to you, don't run with the butt laser, otherwise you will die. All right, and now he's doing big slammy, big fire slam. Here, another big attack. Now he goes up in the air. Now for this attack, in order to dodge this, he has a voice line. You kind of want to wait for him to stop following you, and then wait, and then we're gonna shield charge out and roll at the last second. So shield charge. Oh wow, that really. Let's try that again. Let's see if we can actually watch that. This one takes a bit of practice. Without shield charge, I think you just get your timing a little bit better. But shield charge out and roll, and then we're just gonna finish him off over here. But yeah, practice your bosses. Probably the big ones you want to practice are the one in Apex of Filth. Also, Viper is really scary, and then Doryani. Those are going to be the big bosses, but hopefully you have enjoyed it. 3 hours, 44 minutes, and 46 seconds. Oh, okay, that was because I was AFK for a while, but I think I wanted to see what time did I get? What did we get? But I was super happy with this. This is like a bit under 2 weeks of practice. Got a decent time. For anyone interested in joining in, remember there's the Campaign Codex Discord that you can join in on, where you can learn about speedrunning, talk to other people speedrunning, and get into it. It is a very, very time-consuming endeavor. So if you're a person with a job, like speedrunning, do it for fun. Don't do it to compete. But if you're really enjoying PoE 2 and you don't want to keep doing the end game, getting into this it's really, really, really fun. I had a blast doing this. So hopefully you've learned some stuff. I hope I haven't gone too fast, but 3 videos over 40 minutes long, and yeah, a lot of information will be in the Discord. So just hop in, ask questions, get to know people, and start practicing. So that's going to be it. I will be releasing full guides for the layouts that I've been showing you on screen. These are up on Mobalytics at the moment, so I'll link those in the description. But yeah, thank you for watching. That's going to be it. Stay safe. Catch you in the next video, and bye-bye.